So you've fallen behind in your payments. You've been getting those notices in the mail. You're feeling frustrated, scared, and not sure what to do next. We've been there before too. We've had clients there before that have been there before too.
So here are the real actionable steps that you can take right now to protect your home, your credit, and your time. So let's get into the video. So what does foreclosure means exactly, Chad?
So foreclosure is when your lender forces you out of your home and sells your home either at auction or through the open real estate market if you can't make up your payments. And then they'll still come after you for that missing money that you still owe on your house. Foreclosure is not a fun process, and it's something you don't want to go through. Your credit will take a huge hit, and you just want to try to avoid it if you can.
So the timeline to get to the foreclosure it can be a little lengthy process. Once you start missing your payments, and that's where it starts, is once you start missing those payments, then it goes into a lender action. So a lender starts sending you notices saying, hey, you missed a payment, let's work on it, or work with you, or these are your options kind of thing. And then eventually it goes into a foreclosed sale. They put it like legally you are in a foreclosure. Once you get that first letter in the mail that they are going to start the foreclosure process, it is a very long road still, but it can also move fast. It can be as fast as 6 months, which is really rare, but normally it takes a year or more to complete.
Just make sure that when the lender starts communicating with you, they'll almost always communicate with you by mail, that you actually talk to your lender and go over your options and say, how can I fix this? How can I get out of this hole that I've got myself into? Can I restructure my payments? Can I lower my payments? What are my options? The lenders always have options for you. So make sure you talk to your lender and see what you can do.
So the earlier that you act, the more options you have. So why selling early can save you for the future. So one, it actually avoids foreclosure showing on your credit report, because it kind of saves about 100 to 150 points versus a full foreclosure, and the option that you want to buy in the future kind of reduces that for you.
If there's a foreclosure on your credit report, you can't buy a house for, most lenders require at least 3 years, I believe. I think FHA, it has to be 2 years, but conventional loans and most lenders, I think they want at least 3 to 5 years for foreclosure on your credit report. And then even renting an apartment, if they see a foreclosure on your credit report, they're a little leery to rent you an apartment if they see a foreclosure. They just think that you're not going to make those payments on time. So you don't want to have a foreclosure if you can at all avoid it. It also helps protect your equity. If you have any equity in your house at all, which most people in today's market have equity in their house, it helps to protect it. Because if you have equity like you do today in 2025, like 90% of people do, you can just sell your house and pay off what you owe on the house and still walk away with plenty of money in your pocket.
It actually kind of gives you control rather than giving the banks a deciding factor of what your future holds. So if you sell your foreclosure, it can help you gain your control and kind of make sure you know what you're doing in your own life.
Yeah, if you wait too long in the process, then the bank starts telling you what you have to do, and you have no control anymore. The bank will start saying, well, you have to do this. And then you have no more control, because once you wait too long in the process and the bank starts dictating what you can and can't do, you've lost control then. And it's too late for us to help you, for you to help yourself, and usually for the courts to help you too.
So many buyers in Kenosha are actually eager for these homes to hit the market, because there is a real big demand for even distressed homes, a little project on the side, or even investors that will grab it and then flip it for their profit as well. So there are people out there for these homes as well. So even if you're in pre-foreclosure, just starting the process is a very high demand area.
So Aalia, there are a few options that sellers have before foreclosure even starts. What's the first option that sellers have?
So the first option is the traditional sale. So meaning that you're going to list your home like a normal person with a realtor or realtors, and you can sell before the foreclosure date. So it works best if you have equity, which Chad has mentioned before. A lot of the houses have equity in this day and age. What's the second one?
Short sale. So if you owe more on your house than what it's worth, the bank may approve a short sale instead of a foreclosure. So if they've already started the foreclosure process, but you're underwater on your house, you owe more than what it's worth, talk to the bank, say, you know what, I just want to sell my house and be done with it because I can't make up the payments. The bank will say, you know what, that's okay, we'll approve the short sale. But they usually have a specific number that they make you sell the house at. So then you talk to a realtor like us, and we'll put your house on the market for that number, and then we look for a buyer for that specific number. And we have to put in the MLS that it's a short sale, and that it's a bank-approved short sale, and that it has to sell for a specific number. It's a little more of a drawn-out process, and we have to wait for a specific buyer, but it still does sell at some point.
So the third one is a loan modification or for forbearance that you work with your mortgage lender, and it is not selling per se, but it is important to mention because some homeowners may qualify. This is they're going to adjust the loan, maybe increase the amount of years that you pay for your mortgage, which means it'll drop down your price or your mortgage per month to make it more feasible to pay. And like I said, it will just increase the years in which you owe on the house. Instead of a 30-year, you're going to have 60 years or a 40-year to decrease that mortgage payment per month to a place that you are able to make that payment.
Deed in lieu. So this is not very common, but you're voluntarily transferring the property back to the bank. Like I said, it's not very common, but it's better than foreclosure. You would still have to move out of the property, you'd have to give it up, but you're not being foreclosed on. You are just giving the house back to the bank, you're voluntarily moving out, finding someplace new to live, but you're not being foreclosed on.
So each option is dependent on timing and how quickly you act. So make sure you know what your options are and what you're going to do right away. So the sooner the better.
So Aalia, when we're dealing with foreclosures, normally we want to sell pretty fast, but we don't want to sacrifice everything. So how do we do that?
So one of the options or strategies that we recommend, one, to work with a realtor or realtors that know the market, and to have a pricing strategy. We don't recommend overpricing it because your goal is to have a quick sale.
So marketing matters. Even if your home isn't in the best shape, if it needs a little TLC or a lot of TLC, marketing makes a big difference. You want to get the most amount of eyes on your house as possible. So you want to make sure that your realtor does marketing, whether it's postcards, whether it's paid online marketing, or whether it's just going around the neighborhood and door knocking. You want to make sure that you pick a realtor that does some kind of marketing for your house, because you want to make sure that your house gets out there to the masses and gets the most amount of eyes on it as possible. It gets it sold quickly.
So when the options come in or the offers come in for your properties, you need to understand the difference between an investor and a regular buyer. So it depends on the speed. So you got to weigh the speed, the amount of time that you want to spend on the market or how quickly you want to sell. I mean, the investors, they're going to pay the amount that they feel like the house is worth that may not match what you're trying to sell it for. So they might undercut that offer to you. However, it will quickly sell because usually they are cash investors, which means that within a couple of weeks you can sell the house right away. Versus a price payoff, if you're looking to gain net money, you are going to look for that regular buyer that will pay a little bit over asking or even at asking, but there's a trade-off. So are you looking to quickly sell versus the price that you want to net after that closing?
The right agent. Make sure that you pick the right agent for your sale, because the right agent positions the home as a solution for the buyers looking for a great deal. You want the agent to market your home as the solution for those buyers looking for a home in that area.
So 5 things to avoid if you're facing a foreclosure. Number 1, well, you're waiting too long. We're waiting to see what are your options, and those options start to disappear the closer you are to the auction or even the official date of your foreclosure. So make sure you're not waiting too long.
Ignoring the lender communication. You can't just bury your head in the sand and ignore the communications from your lender. You can't keep ignoring those letters and the phone calls from your lender. You have to talk to them at some point.
Number 3 is trying to hide the situation from your realtor. Your realtor or realtors need to have that full picture and all the details that go with it so they can work well with you and making sure you are protected during the process. If you are hiding facts that are crucial to the process, they can't work to their fullest capabilities for you.
Number 4, falling for those we buy houses for cash scams. Now, they're not always scams. Some of these can actually help you if you want a cash investor, but watch out for them, because usually what these guys do is that they'll come in there, they'll offer you a big cash deal for your house, but what they end up doing is that they'll say, you know what, your house actually needs all these repairs. We're going to lower our cash offer by this amount. Or we can't meet closing because of X detail. We have to lower our cash amount. They'll end up lowering the cash offer so much that they end up paying a lot less for your house than what they initially quoted you. So the we buy houses for cash are not always the best deal that they make it out to be. If you really want a cash offer, Ollie and I work really close with cash investors here in the Kenosha area. We can get you real cash offers for your house if you want one.
Okay, number 5 is giving up without explaining all your options. Like, if one option didn't work for you, don't give up. We will help you find another option for you in order for you to be saved from the foreclosure process. So look, foreclosures in our market are pretty rare. But we've helped people going through the process and their situation before, and they got through it successfully. Some with a little cash in their pockets as well.
Missing a few mortgage payments can feel overwhelming, but if you're facing foreclosure in Kenosha, ignoring it will only make things worse. The truth is, you still have options, but only if you act fast.
We know this isn't an easy topic to talk about, but you're not alone. We have people like you reaching out to us every week to help navigate through situations like foreclosures. And there are always options out there for you.
So if you have any questions or if you just want to talk through it, give us a call or shoot us a text at 262-331-1621. We're always here and it's completely confidential. We're happy to help. We hope they have a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll see you in the next video.